Yep.
Like that?
Yep. Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to another episode of Hey, I've Got an Idea Show. My name is Luke Lessashamed Williams, and here is my brother,
Mason Tailsteak Williams, and here is my brother. I'm Jared Body Glove Williams, and welcome to Oi, I've Got an Idea. It's an invention podcast. What are we making today, lads?
Oh, well, this time around, it's gonna be a new accent. A new ethnicity altogether.
Yeah, it's sort of a cross between Australian and Scottish there, I guess.
I think we already finished that invention, though.
Yeah, no.
That was a bonus episode between the last episode and this episode. You missed it. It's all on the
bad.
All on the cutting room floor.
I'm so sorry for anyone if this is your first episode listening to it.
Here's what we normally do on this show.
Not that.
My brother Mason and I, we're gonna have a little talky talk because he's in trouble. He's a bit of bad boy.
I'm always a bad boy. I'm the bad boy.
Yeah, of the family. And he's gonna have a talking to with me, and then we're gonna at the end of it have an inventoroo.
That's a word.
Yeah, we're gonna have an inventoroo, and this time around, jokes.
No. Hey now.
What?
We're not going to just tell a joke. I mean, this podcast is like an hour long. We're not going to tell a joke.
Yeah, let's not tell any jokes this one.
We, working together, are going to invent the best joke.
The best joke.
We can nail that down in an hour.
Can it be done?
Probably not, but we're going to give it a shot because that's what we do here.
Brave listener, embark with us.
Take my hand.
Yeah, take mine as well. We're
wait, no, take my other hand. We're going to be going in this direction.
We're going to swing you. It's going to
be okay.
It's going to be fun. You swing you down the slide.
That's not how slides work.
I'm picturing the both of us just hucking someone down a slide, and they don't actually make contact with the slide until like halfway and bounce off it.
That's is that a joke, Luke?
Damn it! I forgot we were saving it all up for the one big joke-aroo.
Okay, so I'm gonna do one of the things that I usually do. Luke, what is the number one problem with jokes today?
Well, I think it's when you run a joke into the ground, like, say, for example, anything to do with nachos or Squarespace.
Oh, by the way, another thing for anyone for whom this is their first episode, this podcast, like all podcasts, is brought to you by Squarespace. Head on over to squarespace.com/HIGAI show. That's where our podcast is hosted on Squarespace, and you can download all of the episodes, including at least 5 bonus episodes.
Good? You got your Squarespace fix in?
Squarespace. Listen today.
All right.
For free. It's good.
Did we do it? You want to get
Squarespace.
You want to get to the why don't you get the nachos out of the way too?
What, you want me to do the you want me to do the nacho joke?
I want to see what material you have left after that.
I like none, but okay. Hey Luke.
Yes, Mason.
What do you call a joke that isn't yours?
Is it nacho joke?
It is. Well done.
Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense because nacho cheese is the word that...
No. See, here's the thing. It doesn't need to make sense. What we need, and what I'm going to need you to do, is this is something that our podcast has been lacking. Could I get you to edit in a laugh track?
Oh.
How else will people know when something is funny?
Yes. You know what? Let's have a little demonstration of a laugh track.
Okay.
Right here.
I'm gonna tell that very good joke again. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, Luke.
Yes, Mason.
What do you call a joke that isn't yours?
I don't know. What do you call a joke that isn't yours?
Nacho joke.
Are we getting closer?
I think.
Have we refined the elements here?
Well, hang on. Let me alter my my accent there, my intonation on that.
Okay.
Okay. What do you call a joke that isn't yours?
I don't know. What do you call a joke that isn't yours?
Nacho joke.
See, something that's kind of funny to me right now is that I don't know if it's getting picked up on the microphone, but there's a literal party happening, 10 feet above my head, on the floor upstairs that couldn't be avoided. I have to record at the same time. But I am hearing a muffled laugh track from upstairs because somebody up there is a real comedian.
Awesome.
So the one time we talk about introducing a laugh track and there is a real live introduction of a laugh track in my physical space.
That's good. I'm going to assume they're listening to us and laughing with us.
I hope the next episode is funny too. Okay, let's get to the meat.
The meat. Okay, yeah. What is the number one problem with jokes today?
Okay, well, my thing was running them into the ground, beating a dead horse, if you will.
Okay.
But there's definitely some other stuff.
Well, okay. Now, the problem there is this sort of joke where you start running it into the ground and like it's funny at first, it stops being funny, but then if you do it long enough, it cycles back around to being funny.
So just the inanity clause.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the classic example, of course, is the Peter Griffin skinning his knee bit.
Yeah, that became surprisingly iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably because it ground that entire bit to a halt and then became the focus for no conceivable reason. Like it's sort of, you know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like if Chekhov's gun actually didn't come back later. Because it's like, oh, you stopped and took a shot on the gun anyway, and then you go on with the rest of the play.
That's very good. That's very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the thing that I'm thinking, you mentioned ground into the dirt.
Uh-huh.
Well, the thing that I have found, and this is true, in much the same vein of like ice to meet you, is that if you do the intonation in a strange way,
yes,
it makes people think that there's a pun there.
Oh, so, but ice to meet you is like if you were making an ice pun. You're saying like what?
No, I put the emphasis on meat. It's a meat pun.
I actually was wondering if it was a icing your meat pun. Hey, we did a frosted ham bit.
We did, but frosted, like in that case, was like icing.
Other kind of
like
jokes, throwbacks.
Frosting, but.
All right, but here's
why
the other
is
thing.
icing and frosting called icing and frosting? It's not frozen. We need a different word for icing, for like sugar fat. It's not frozen. We need a different word.
I got another word for sugar fat. You ready for this one?
Okay.
America. I've got a shout out this week. I want to mention this while we're talking about nations.
A shout out to America, our friends to the south.
No, actually, I mean, thank you, American listeners out there, because the website statistics tell me that a proportion of our listeners are from there, and another large proportion are from Canada. I believe we had one in Singapore. I believe we had one in Germany, but no, shout outs to the surprising majority from the Netherlands.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm gonna assume somebody's like using a proxy server or something that's based in the Netherlands. It's actually like one dude.
I feel like it has to be something like that. Like there's
no way we have that many listeners in the Netherlands. There's like one dude in Amsterdam who like called up all his local friends and is like, you gotta listen to this.
Yeah, no, I think that it's actually like that doesn't relate to the listens on the podcast proper. That is the hits on the domain website.
Is there like a botnet operating out of
the Netherlands? Why not?
Okay, so it's hits on the website. Did it mention which pages? Like, is it the main website proper, or is it individual pages? Do we know? Are they going through and listening to every episode, or are they just loading the home page 1,000 times?
You know what I'll do? I'll do some more research. I'll get back to you on that.
Good. Okay, so we need to do some Dutch jokes.
I mean, I suppose.
So what do we know without looking it up? What do we know about the Netherlands?
Do they wear clogs on their dicks?
No, they put their dicks into dikes.
Right.
By which I mean like the dam, not like slur for lesbians. That would be inappropriate.
There is just straight up wrestling happening up there.
Is it funny wrestling?
I presume so. But no, they could stick their dicks into clogs too, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they like to drop a clog onto their junk to see where it lands on their nethers.
That I didn't realize that was where the name of the country came from.
No, that is a big part of their cultural heritage.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you for introducing me to this cultural fact.
Yep.
So they just like, it's a traditional thing in the Netherlands. They're like, I'm going to take this clog and I'm going to drop it and see if it lands on my nethers, and like if it does.
Yeah, like does it?
That's good.
Is it the mouth of the shoe and it just nestles and nuzzles up? It cups safely the junk in a freak, wonderful, fortuitous circumstance. Or
is it sort of like a horseshoe toss where you just try and get it to land on the dick?
Yeah, well, the more likely thing is you just dropped a heavy object on your dick.
Right.
Which,
well, I mean, the clog's not that heavy. I mean, there are heavier things you could drop on your penis.
That is true. If we were to look towards other cultures, what are some other hilarious objects you could drop on your dick?
Well, are we sticking to footwear?
No, I think that this can be, like, that, your culture doesn't have to just be dictated by your footwear.
Okay, so we're Canadian. We're the authorities on Canada here. We wrote the national anthem, so
we did.
What are Canadian things that we Canadians drop on our genitals?
Beavers.
Nice. Oh, man. If you put in the laugh track, that is where you should employ it right there.
Here's what I'll do. I still have the cricket sample. So
okay.
I'll alternate between either laugh track or cricket based on, I don't know, I guess just my whim.
Okay, can we like get a sound, like take the laugh track sound, but like speed it up so it sounds like a bunch of beavers laughing?
Let's give it a go. Here's what that sounds like. Nah, no.
No,
No.
no, I like it.
I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so
No.
do you think beavers ever refer to any part of their anatomy as the human?
Ho, 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 ho. Yeah. There's another one.
Well, like, I mean, a whole female genital area really doesn't resemble a beaver in any meaningful way, or a pussy for that matter. So, like, presumably the beaver, whatever part of their anatomy they're referring to as the human, doesn't have to be humanoid. Like, I don't believe that a beaver's dick looks like a little man, although it would be really weird if it did, and you just like you hunt the beaver for its pelt, but also for like the dick that you turn into a GI Joe. But if a beaver did refer to their genitals as a human being, like, would that be the beaver dick or the beaver vagina?
I think that beaver genitals are just like concentrated, right?
So they're not referring to their stuff as a human. They're referring to it as like the beaver squared. Like
Yeah.
a beaver's beaver is a beaver.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we got that settled.
Cool. Let's go back to that whole joke making thing.
Okay, so we're not making just a joke. We're making the best joke. So here's a question: how blue do we want to get with this? If it is the best joke, wouldn't the best joke necessarily be one that's accessible to all ages? Like, shouldn't we be aiming for something that's safe for work?
You thinking one that like Ned Flanders could tell to his kids?
Well, I mean, the question is the central element of the joke the humor, or is it just general being applicable to everything? And if it is the humor, is a dirty joke necessarily funnier than a clean joke?
Well, here's the thing. I'm just gonna call a spade, try to actually talk about this thing here for a second.
Okay, cool.
Cool. You know how people talk about a sense of humor? And some people have like a sick sense of humor. Some people have a very weird sense of humor. They have no sense of humor. They have a bad sense of humor.
Yes.
This is gonna come right back to that whole taste being subjective thing, and we're just objectively attempting to make the best one. And therein lies the humor of the challenge. I don't know that we can do that thing.
Okay, so the best joke is necessarily going to be tailored to the listener.
Yeah, because, like, it's kind of like saying, oh, we're going to make the best piece of art. And it's like, we maybe we'll try that one week, but, so tailored to the person, maybe? Like, if it could hack their brain to...
Well, okay, so maybe we don't necessarily need to write the funniest joke. We just need to create the best brain hacker that makes you think whatever we say is the funniest joke in the world.
I think maybe it's more like an algorithm of sorts.
Okay.
Because, like, if you're able to read a couple of different things that are someone's favorite style of humor, and that's able to program the algorithm could ideally spit out, here's the things that you particularly like. Here's the slice of life. Here's the funny voice. Here's the pun along the way, the setup and the delivery, and ends with set of 3.
Okay, so we need an algorithm where you put in your stuff as like, here's, I like this kind of joke. I want it to be clean. I like it to be smart, but not too smart because I'm kind of dumb. I want it to be quick, like none of these long story jokes. I want it like question, answer, done. And like, here's a selection of test jokes. Just mark how funny you think they are. And then once you're done this survey, this little fucking OkCupid profile type thing, it spits out the best joke for you, the generated joke that the algorithm has determined is so funny that you will die.
Well, I don't remember the death part, actually.
Well, okay, I gotta mention this. Have you heard of Chrysippus the Stoic?
I was really expecting you to just reference the Monty Python bit.
No,
you...
I'm going older school than that. Chrysippus, anybody who's listening, by all means, pause this and like look him up on Wikipedia. He was a member of the Stoic school of philosophy from back in ancient Greece, and this is true now. You can check it out, like Wikipedia. Don't believe me, look it up. The story is told that he told a joke and he laughed so hard at his own joke that he died.
So, okay.
This is an actual thing in history.
2 important questions there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1, did anyone hear him tell this joke?
Yes.
So is there any record of that joke?
Yeah. No, it was very situational. Like, if I tell it to you now, you will not die. And indeed, you might not even laugh. But in the moment, it's one of those, you had to be there kind of things, where if you were there at that time, it is possible you might have laughed as hard as Crispus did and then died.
Uh-huh.
Would you like me to tell you this joke? Now, I warn you, this joke has killed before and may kill again.
Oh, this kind of like if I choose to listen to Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, you will become a Satanist and kill your parents. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, the possibility exists. It's very unlikely, but the possibility exists that this will kill you. Do you want me to tell you the actual legit ancient Greek joke that caused Chrysippus to laugh so hard he died?
Yes, I consent 100%, and so do the listeners by association.
Good stuff. All right, strap in, listeners. Here's the deal. So Chrysippus, ancient Greek philosopher dude, he was, very high class, he was one of the founding members of the Stoics, and they were a school of philosophy. And so anyway, he happens to see this donkey that had gotten a hold of a bunch of figs. And figs aren't donkey food, figs are people food. But this donkey is eating these figs, and Crispus sees the donkey eating the figs, and he says, "Hey, somebody should get that donkey some wine so we can wash down his meal." And he then proceeded to laugh so hard at his own joke that he died.
I would say, probably you had to be there, kind of. Actually, I think it would be quite traumatizing to be there, now that I think about it.
Watching someone laugh so hard they die? Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, I mean...
that would be very scary, in fact, especially if it became a thing. Like, if people around you are doing this a lot, you would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, like, if more people started saying it and dying, is that what you mean?
Well, like any joke. Like, if anybody is making whatever joke, but then they're laughing so hard, like the Joker just gassed them, that they just pass out and die. And, it wouldn't even have to be that good of a joke. Like, okay, so modern equivalent of this joke, let's say, you're at home and somebody's preparing steaks that are about to go on the grill, and the dog, gets a hold of one of the steaks and runs away. And somebody turns to you and they're like, "Hey, do something." And you turn to the joke and say, and you turn to the dog and you say, "Hey, can I recommend a nice red to go with that?" And that's your joke. And then you laugh so hard at your own joke that you die. I would be very traumatized to watch my own brother, like, pass out from just rapid, respiration of laughter.
Yeah.
And then just watching you spasm and choke on your own bile and die from it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out like that, I'm going to admit. I mean, I want there to be plenty of laughter in my life.
Sure.
But maybe that's not quite what I had in mind.
Yeah, no, I don't want to die laughing. I want to die fucking.
I don't want that either, though. Because
Well,
back
to
to
each
the
their
whole,
own.
back to that whole traumatization thing. Unless you can find yourself with a partner who is into that.
Who gets off on fucking you so hard you die. Yeah. Or if you both happen to die at the same time and, like, some third party finds you both dead mid-coitus and, like, the coroners confirmed they both, came so hard they died at the same exact time. Isn't that romantic? And then they can't get you apart and they have to put you in the same coffin.
Oh, you fused.
That's what happens. It's rare, but unfortunately that is what happens.
So, okay. I wanna think about a funny joke now.
Okay, all right. So, funny joke.
Yeah.
Do we want to make it sort of punny language based?
I mean, I think that puns are generally pretty horrible.
Okay, so no.
But there's a
butts are funny.
But the butts are funny. But there's a clause there where it's mostly because the puns that people tend to make are pretty bad. Like they're a reach. It's like you're really forcing something. You're really stretching, like, to try and make that fit. The puns that are really quite amazing are the ones that, like, are so situational. It's like you make the joke and you think, like, oh my god, I will never make that joke again.
Right, it's so unique to the situation. Like, Chrysippus's thing would not have worked if the donkey wasn't there. Like, if he was just by himself in a room and he just like, hey, get that donkey some wine, it would not have been funny.
Yeah, I guess not. There's another, I'm gonna do a little bit of a pivot here. There's another thing that we didn't discuss when talking about jokes and comedians and what may or may not be any kind of pinnacle, and that's the conversation about the aristocrats joke.
Okay, which is sort of a unique joke in that it really doesn't matter what you put in the middle, and at the end of it, you just say the aristocrats, and it's not really, like, the aristocrats is not funny in and of itself. It's what you put in the middle that you just describe the most horrific thing you can.
Right.
And the more over the top you go, and, like, the aristocrats bit, it's sort of like your ape in waiting joke that you used to do.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Okay, would you like to tell the ape in waiting joke?
I'll tell the ape in waiting joke. But I just want to give, because we're gonna pivot back to the
aristocrats.
The aristocrats
first you
thing.
have to do the ape in waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, the ape in waiting.
Okay, no, stop, everyone, stop. It's okay. All right.
Whew. All right. Warning, some of you may laugh so hard that you die.
Yeah. I actually don't remember it too well.
Okay, so is it like in a doctor's waiting room?
No, it wasn't a doctor's waiting room. He wanted to, like, rent a car or something.
Okay, so there's an ape that wants to rent a car. Which, that's funny right on the surface, because typically that's not something like having any ape out in public unsupervised right on the surface of it. That's improbable. Secondly, an ape that can drive and has the concept of renting a car, let alone being legally, able to rent a car, that's improbable as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So right on the right at the top, right in the beginning, this is an improbable scenario.
Thanks for the support. I got this.
Okay, you can do this. You can tell this joke. I believe in you. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to die. Right. Luke Williams with the ape in waiting joke. Luke, go.
Thanks, everyone. So this ape wants to get a car. And he goes into the car dealership. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Hey, can I get a car?" And they say, "Oh, hang on a second there, Mr. Ape. I'll be with you in just a moment." So he waits, and like 5 minutes go by, and he's like, "Okay, no, seriously." So he comes back up, and he says, "Hey, I really want to wait. I really want to rent a car." And they say, "Oh, just one more minute, sir. One more minute, Mr. Ape." And so he goes back, and he stands, and he's looking up at the clock, and then just then, a manager comes out from the back, and looks to the clerk, and is like, "Hey, what's the meaning of this?" And she's like, "What? What is it?" And he's like, "Don't you see what this is?" And he points to the ape, and he points to the clock, and he says, "It's an ape in waiting." That's maybe as close as I remember. I mean, I don't remember if there was more to it than that. So
that's a good joke.
But yeah, I don't this is me trying to remember something I said like 15 years ago. But essentially I constructed what sounded like a joke.
Right, because
and had
if the phrase ape in waiting had some other meaning, this would be a joke.
Right, and yet it is the shell. It's, you know what it is? It's like the really shitty spray paint knockoff product that falls apart as soon as you use it. It's like, this is just a facade. This is not this is nothing. Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you, audience. Thank you. No, yes. it's all no. Thank you. Thank you. You're too kind.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now what we need to do is we'll take your ape in waiting joke, and we just need to make it so that ape in waiting has some other meaning, and then this will be a joke, and it will be their best joke.
There was one other thing I was considering.
Okay.
Which is that just entering into this, I was thinking about taping a little bit of this up as we go, kind of like we did with the national anthem, because that's basically what Mike and Jerry do for Petty Arcade. They do that fourth panel shtick, and it works for them. And they're not brothers, but one of us is bald, so...
Which one?
Shit, hang on. Well, not me.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, it's me.
Okay, cool. Well, glad we sorted that. So you want to do that? I'll do a little tapey type, and then I'll send it to you at the end, and then if we got all the pieces together, you can tell our final version of the joke. We got about 25 minutes to go.
I think I've got a good version of this joke. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, an ape goes to a car dealership and strolls on up to the main desk. And he talks to the car salesman, clerk type person there, and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to buy a car." And the clerk says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with another customer. Got here just before you. If you don't mind just chilling out for a bit. In the meantime, while you're waiting over there," and he points to this table full of snacks, and he says, "Why don't you enjoy some free snacks while you wait. And the ape's like, yeah, okay. Don't mind if I do. You take your time. I'll be over here. And so the ape goes over to the snack table, and there's, bananas and grapes like an ape might like.
Mm-hmm.
But he skips right past those, and he goes straight to the nachos.
God damn it.
And he's chilling out there just having like nacho. Yeah, good. Goes over, just sort of looks at the cars, doesn't really do anything yet. Strolls on back, has a nacho. Comes over to the car, sort of looks. Another person comes in, and he's like thinking, oh, I gotta wait behind this ape. But then the ape's like, no, you go ahead. So the other guy goes up and he starts talking about getting a car, and ape's still chilling out by the snack table, has some more nachos. And then finally the manager comes out, and he sees this situation, and he pulls the salesman aside, and he's like, don't you see what's going on here? And the salesman thinks that he's in trouble, so he's like, oh, what? No, what's going on, sir? I'm not sure. And the manager just points dramatically to the ape, and he says, nacho ape in waiting.
That's pretty good.
That's a joke.
Okay, so I've got a version for you.
Okay,
I was trying to transcribe that as best I could, as though I was a stenographer. I need you to do your best to read this back, and we'll see if it's just as good as the first telling that you gave me there. Okay, I got
hopefully you'll be better because you put your own spin on it. And
I did.
That's what we're here for, to collaborate.
I mean, fingers crossed. I think it might be stronger.
Don't cross your fingers. You need to type, but yes.
I've done the typing, though. You silly. Yes, silly. Here we go. Bam.
Okay. All right. So, you sent me the thing. And I'm going to try and point my mouth at the mic as I'm reading this.
Okay, now remember, don't laugh until the end, okay? That's the only appropriate time to laugh.
Okay. Ape goes into car dealership. Goes up to clerk. Hey, I'd like to buy a car. Sorry, have free snacks. Okay, don't mind if do. Bananas, grapes, nachos. He goes nachos. Nacho 1. Car time. Nacho 2. Another man. Kill. Man dies. Still asks about the thing. Ape waits and eats nachos. Manager and pulls clerk like pork. Don't you see? No, what? Nacho apron waitstaff.
Did I get it?
I think what you have written there is at least as good as what I said, yes.
Okay. So is this going to be sort of like a broken telephone situation where if we just keep volleying it back and forward, like, like an ape?
Right, apes playing volleyball, sure, they do that.
No, I mean, like, the ape is the volleyball. Do you think enough...
so we are playing volleyball with an ape.
Yes, do you think that we would just eventually... enough pieces would fall off that a comedy would happen?
Is that how comedy works?
Well, I mean, it's derivative, right? And
Yes.
you know that thing about monkeys and typewriters.
Well, it's derivative in the sense that it is derived, yes.
And we all just evolved from apes anyway, right?
Some of us.
Oh, true. Okay. So,
Okay, so how about this? I will read this again, and I want you to just, like, turn off your brain, but again, I need you to transcribe what I'm saying to the best of your ability. Just let your fingers do it. Like, don't even put your brain into it at all. I'm just
okay.
going to read this. I'm going to put my own spin on it.
Okay, I got one important inquiry. I know that you said you're going to put your spin on this. This is now the third time that our listening audience will hear this joke. Are we keeping this fresh enough?
I'm going to say yes because the joke in question is very funny.
Okay, wait. One other thing. Can we incorporate the aristocrats thing?
Do you want me to, like, take, like, a breakdown in the middle of it? Well, I mean, you already included gratuitous murder out of nowhere.
That was a typo.
If I could just pump that up to, like, extreme, like, weird ass sodomy, then we go on from that to nacho apron waitstaff. Like, I think this could be a very funny. There's a lot of potential here. It's a very funny joke.
Okay, one other thing. Can we include Copernicus?
Copernicus?
I did a little goof on the name because I couldn't remember it.
Chrysippus is the dude. Copernicus was the planet's guy.
The planet's guy? That's
one of the planet's guys.
Galileo?
No, he Copernicus invented planets. Galileo just invented looking at them. In much the same way that Sir Isaac Newton invented gravity, and then Albert Einstein invented doing gravity wrong.
Yeah. So hit me up with that. Hit me up with that Mark II.
Okay, so I'm going to read this again. Like I said, I'm going to put my own spin on it. We're going to do sort of an aristocrats thing, breakdown in the middle. And I'm going to need you to, like I said, just turn off your brain if you can, and just do what your soul tells you is best. Just type it on up however you can.
Okie doke.
Okay. An ape goes into a car dealership. He goes up to the clerk, because that's how car dealerships work, and says, "Hey, well, look at my car." And the clerk says, "Not right now, but hey, buddy, have some free snacks." "Okay, don't mind if I do." And they got bananas. And they got grapes, and they got apples, and they got pineapples. But they have nachos. And the ape, he goes ape for nachos. Ooh. And he has nacho number 1. And he goes over to the cars, looks at the cars, comes on back, nacho number 2. There's another dude, shows up, and drops his pants. And as he's bending over to grab his own pants, Ape takes all the fruit that he didn't want, the bananas, the grapes, and so forth, shoves them all up the man's ass. The man doesn't notice, pulls his pants back up, buys a car, and drives it away. Ape has another nacho. The manager comes out, sees the clerk, sees the ape, sees the nachos, pulls the clerk aside, and he says, "Hey, don't you see what's going on here?" And the clerk says, No, what's going on here? What's the deal? What's happening?" And the manager says, "Nacho apron waitstaff." The
Done. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. So go ahead, put whatever the hell you typed into Skype. And
It is hard to speed type and then put in just the right level of spice that you're giving me without completely transforming it. I think there is only one typo though.
no, we're keeping the typo, whatever it is.
But it's maybe not 100. Like maybe we could proofread this a little bit more.
What sort of operation do you think we're running here?
All right, you got a good point. I'm gonna hit enter now. You ready to read?
Born ready.
All right.
I was born ready to read.
Now remember, this is important. You can't laugh until the end. I mean it this time.
I did laugh a little bit the last time, and I apologize. I apologize to you. I apologize to the listeners. I apologize to the apes. I will keep it locked down this time to the best of my ability. I'm just... Stoneface. Walter Cronkite, reading this. I've just been handed this report. My God. And, like, ready, I'm serious.
Ready,
Walter
Stone?
Cronkite.
Stoneface?
Stoneface. That's the best kind of comedy delivery.
All
ready
right.
to go.
Okay.
Hit enter, my friend.
Go. You got this.
Time for rat joke. Ape goes into a car dealership. Goes up to the clerk, cause that's how car dealership. He says, "Hey, I'd lick the car. Not right now. Time for fear snacks. They got pineapples, but they have nachos, and the AP goes ape for nachos. Samba break. He goes for nacho 1. Comes back, kills. Comes back, nacho 2. Man drops pants. Ape takes fruit and shovels in ass. Man doesn't know. Buys a car and drives away. Ape has a nachos. Manager sees a lot of things. Pulls the clerk asdi and says, "What is going on here?" Clerk says no. Manager says nacho apron waits chat. The end.
I have to say, I feel like we may be going off the rails with this one a little bit.
Little bit. Okay, so we need to simplify it. We need to bring it back down. We need to get to the fundamentals. We need to get to the basics. We need a joke. A joke is like setup, twist, punchline.
Okay, so we gotta distill this down.
Distill.
Okay.
Put it in the still, boil it down. Let's find the fundamental elements. What are the fundamental elements of this?
Wait.
Pineapples in the ass. Cars. How a car dealership works. The word ape, never specifying if it's a gorilla or an orangutan or a chimpanzee or what. Just as long as it's an ape of some sort.
Okay. I think it's done. This is becoming more and more encoded. Wait.
Hey, you know what the one customer got shoved in his ass?
What's that?
Pineapples.
Is that just because you would put a little bit of spit on the ape part?
I put the word ape into pineapple.
But ape doesn't put it isn't in a pine. Okay, here's our final draft. Are you ready?
Okay.
There.
All right. Last time now. I'm going to read again. I'm just reading this direct from Skype. I'm reading exactly what you wrote down. Ape. Carnacho. Pineapple. In ass. Manager. Wait.
So that's gonna do it for this episode of Hey, I've Got an Idea show.
Wait, that's gonna do it? We're done?
Well, I mean, you can read me whatever you got on your Post-it notes, but we're like
I actually have a lot of different things on these Post-it notes here.
Because we're like out of time. We're like at the 50-minute mark.
I only used like half of these things. Okay, you know what? I am gonna pull out this one. This Post-it note is the one that's been on here the longest. I'm just gonna go with this bit. Are you ready for this bit?
Yes.
You're ready for this bit no matter what.
Yes, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a new segment.
Oh boy.
Mason says something not funny, and then Luke doesn't laugh. Hey everybody, welcome to the new segment. Mason says something not funny, and then Luke doesn't laugh. Here's how it works. I'm going to say something that's not funny, and then my brother Luke is going to not laugh. Are you ready, Luke?
I got it. Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's go. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. Go ahead.
Ape. This has been Mason says something not funny, and then Luke doesn't laugh. Mason says something not funny, and then Luke doesn't laugh. Thank you for listening to Mason Says Something Not Funny, and then Luke Doesn't Laugh, brought to you by Squarespace.
You waited until the joke episode for that.
I literally, no joke, I had that Post-it note on my computer for like a month, waiting to use that bit.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
This has been our funniest episode yet.
I know. I think if you haven't guessed by now, if you're possibly new to the show, we talk at the beginning about how we're going to invent the best of a thing.
And then we do it.
And then we succeed 100%.
Yes.
If you had at least a chuckle or two at our stupid brains, this is there's things you can do.
You could rate us on Yelp.
Rate us on Yelp.
Recommend
Twitter,
us on LinkedIn.
higaishow.com is the website. Higai show is the Twitter. There's a Facebook.
You could complain about us to the Better Business Bureau.
There's an Instagram. Why would we encourage that?
You could make vines. Make vines about us.
Why the Better Business Bureau thing, though? Like, we actually paid money for, like, the website.
You could have an ape shove a pineapple up your butt.
There's that. So that was your.
That was my thing. Now it's your turn to do a thing. Like Chrysippus laughing at his own joke, we too must laugh at our own jokes because Lord knows no one else is. And Luke, what are we going to laugh at next week?
All right, I got to admit, it was cool that you did this joke thing. That it was this cute. It was cute. It was cute that you wanted to do a little small scale. It's very, very pedestrian idea, you know.
Pedestrians are funny.
But I want to go with something a little bit larger in concept and in scale.
Okay.
Next week, we will invent a new planet.
We're gonna, like Copernicus before us, we will invent a planet.
Yep. And until next time, everybody.
Thumbs up monorail eggplant.
Good night.
Good night.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Like that?
Yep.